for many years they didn't do it. I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to see it. You know, so
be awesome. Yeah.
So I was like, sure. I don't know anything about Star Trek, unfortunately. So, but whenever I went, it was cool. And so that's when we invited David Grusch because we wanted to. At that time, we were aware because he came to me and George first outside of in the intelligence communities, and he wanted protection. And so we were like, cool, we got to get to know you. This is a good chance. It's in Vegas. George will be there. So we had him come. And then we spent time kind of getting to know each other there. And I mean, he's come to my house and stuff, but that's when we saw you. But I wasn't saying, because this guy was always lived in the shadows. He's an intelligence agent. He's not used to being public. So I wasn't going to be like, hey, buddy, I just met you.
This is the UFO guy I'm talking to.
You're about to hear a lot from him. You know what I mean? It was too early. So, but that was part of that process. And my other buddy, UFO Joe. So he's there too. And I felt bad. Like I didn't overtly say, hey, you should pay attention. But he knew that when we're hanging out that, maybe there's a reason. He's a good documentary person in his mind and the work he does online. The weird part was we're still figuring it out. And when Dave got back to his agency at work, the next day, he got pulled out of his agency and basically given a plant and put on probation. And it was like, we're like, oh shit.
Next day?
Yeah, the next morning.
After he met with you guys?
Yeah, on Sunday. It wasn't us, just for any whistleblowers or sources that are there. It wasn't because of us, but it was like, I was really, really disturbed me. So we're trying to figure out, it was, they were already applying pressure because of his ICIG complaint. So it wasn't directly because of me and George, and that got totally resolved. They were looking at his parking and stuff. They were doing anything they could to fuck with him.
Gotcha.
And here's a guy that's just clean as a whistle. Like, sure, he had PTSD issues and all that stuff, but he survived it, man.
Yeah.
And, so this is a guy they couldn't pin on anything from, and they were trying so hard to fuck with him. And even after that meeting, it really disturbed me and George. We looked into it, and those mechanisms of really, to be honest with you, absolutely fucking with him. That's what the mechanisms were there for. Because of his ICIG complaint, which is illegal, by the way.
Yeah.
But not that anybody cares about law in this field or in these realms that we're talking about.
Not a lot, it seems.
No, it's pretty crazy. So anyway, that was a disturbing thing. And so that's why even more so after that happened, I was like, I want to make sure that there's no risk to him just knowing me and George.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Because that optically doesn't look good if this is already happening.
It's not even optics. It's like real concern for people that are putting themselves out there or about to and are going through a legal process to do so where it doesn't harm the United States of America. So I'm happy to report to you that event was not because of the meeting with me and George, that had been something that they were trying to do to minimize his complaints to the ICIG prior. And I think all of this is accurate. Dave will talk for himself, but I believe all of this is accurate the way I'm saying it. So we were satisfied at that point, me and George, that, okay, so they're turning the heat up on Dave. We knew they were going to do that. We didn't know they'd be so despicable in the way that they did it, but that's okay. He's resilient, and that's what happened. So yeah, he was there.